Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back doing another 8-4 Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar draft. Pretty weak pack all around here. No real exciting card at all for a first pick. Baloth Pup is aggressive, not insanely good. Cultivator Drone might be the best card in this pack. Works well for devoid decks. Stalking Drone, 2-drop maybe. They both want you to be in devoid decks. Stalking Drone's good in the right deck too. They're both, I feel like I've played more Cultivator Drone, but Stalking Drone can be nice and aggressive. I do think I like Stalking Drone more than Baloth Pup. Baloth Pup's pretty aggressive though. But Stalking Drone's pretty insane if you can get the mana going on it. I don't know. Really, really bad first pick though. Unexciting in every way, shape, and form. Blinding Drone. There's no good green card in here. There's a Boulder Salvo, which is good removal. Blue-green, not exactly what you want to go into. Oath of Gideon is not bad. It gives you allies. Green-white is something I can work towards. It could take the Tajuru Pathward and it stays on in color with the first pick. The best card's probably just the Boulder Salvo, I assume. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, third pick. Well, best card's the Mind Melter. Nothing in our first two picks colors that I really care about. Scion Summoner. Scion Summoner's pretty unexciting third pick. It's a very playable card in green though. I'm not even for sure in green. I guess I just take the Mind Melter. Just makes me wish I'd taken the Cultivator Drone now, but whatever. It's a Translator, which is good for the Devoid deck. Still can work with Stalking Drone. Otherwise, Pathfinder's not that great anyway. There's a Holdout Settlement, which is good for Drone and Mind Melter. It's a good card. Could also fix for the Boulder Salvo. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Settlement actually. I think that could help us out quite a bit. All right, so now I can take a Cultivator Drone. There's a Gravity Negator, Unnatural Endurance, and Tar Snare and Unknown Shores. Probably taking the Drone. I mean, of the three cards I have, the Mind Melter is the best. So let's take the guy that can work for its ability or ramp us. Nobody seems to like blue these days. Okay, Hedron Crawler versus Kozilek's Shrieker. Well, Crawler lets you stay more open, but Shrieker is pretty awesome for the Devoid deck. There's also a Tar Snare. Just playable removal. I like Hedron Crawler a lot, but I think I'm going to take the Shrieker here. It just seems better with our Mind Melter and Drone. It's a powerful card. Ooh, we're going to take the second Mind Melter now over the second Shrieker. And over the Sweep Away and over the Waste. Well, I mean, that's pretty good incentive to go into blue-black. Mind Melters are pretty strong cards. All right, Unnatural Endurance versus Waste. I like to get one Waste. I like Unnatural Endurance the way it's looking in this deck, but I think we're going to take our first Waste. Just get that out of the way. Well, immediately pass another one, but I'm not too miffed about that. Could take the Chitinous Cloak. I mean, it's good on an unblockable guy. It's a little bit redundant, the Menace, but could take it. Could take the Overwhelming Denial. It's not a very good card, I guess. It's okay. It's not very good, though. 4-mana counterspell most of the time. I think it's pretty underwhelming. If I take a second Waste Go real deep on blue-black, maybe. Maybe get a Walker the Waste. I'm going to take a second Waste. Okay. Sky Scourer tends to shine in blue-black Devoid. And we could end up finding a... I mean, it's not a great card other than that, though, but it's fine. Slip through space. Could be like a blue-black tempo. I'll take the Scourer. This deck could come together. Visions of Brutality is decent for that deck, too. Alright, got an Unnatural Endurance anyway, so happy about that. Got a Pathfinder anyway, so that's good news, too. First Tar Snare over second Unnatural Endurance. I guess so. Reaver Drone. You know, I think we're going to just make a black-blue beats deck, probably. You could still splash the Boulder Salvo. Boulder Salvo is okay on the splash, not great. It's okay, yeah. I mean, we have the holdout settlement to splash for it, so there's a chance. Okay. Probably want the second Shrieker. I like Envoy, but we're looking for cards that mesh with our, gel with our strategy. And I think Shrieker does just that, so. There's also a Membrane, but when you're trying to beat down, Membrane's a little bit worse. We're going for the old Devoid deck. Well, there's some decent red cards in here. There's a Sweep Away, which is a little bit worse when you're trying to be aggressive, but it is good. Could take the Translator. It's fine. Not incredible. Works for Shriekers, though, and Mind Melters, so I guess we take it. Can't really splash an Isolation Zone, and I don't think I want to Sweep Away. I could, but we'll take the Translator. We've got good evasion. Stoneforge Masterwork. We have a bunch of Eldrazi right now, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every single one of our creatures is an Eldrazi. We're taking this card. There's got to be something else here that's pretty impressive for me to not take it. Yeah, we're taking the card that works with every single creature in our deck. Remorseless Punishment. We meet again. This might actually be the deck to play it, although Unity of Purpose actually looks pretty good in this deck. When you're trying to beat down, I think Remorseless Punishment gets better. And we are definitely beating down. It's not a Chain Mage deck. Don't really want a second Unnatural Endurance. It's Unity of Purpose versus Remorseless Punishment. Unity of Purpose is pretty sick too, though. It's better defensively, but it is a blue support spell. Maybe the only one. Works well with our dudes. I guess I'll take the Punishment, though. I think we'll play it in a deck like this that looks like it can be pretty aggressive. You can end up hurting them. I mean, all the modes are pretty good. Third Mind Melter. Seems good to me. Alright, I guess we'll take the Sweep Away now over the Void Shatter. Nothing else we care about, so... Alright, Sweep Away's fine. It's still going to work well for us. Just because our guys are unblockable, so it's not like not needing to bounce is going to be a thing. I want the Slaughter Drone. It works. It still fits in with everything, every single theme of our deck here. So even though a second Sweep Away would be fine too, we're going to slam the Slaughter Drone. We kind of want to lower our curve a little bit anyway. But it's also an Eldrazi. Getting the Sky Scourer back. This deck's actually looking really sweet now. We have all Eldrazi, by the way. There's not one creature in our deck that's not an Eldrazi, which is already insane. On top of that, I think at this point we're probably not splashing the Boulder Salvo. On top of that, we have a great Devoid plan going. We have pretty good Evade. This deck looks cool. So I can take Bonesaw, which does actually pump the Sky Scourer. It's not bad. It's pretty good on a Mind Melter. There's Comparative Analysis. Our curve probably can support Comparative Analysis. When you're trying to be aggressive, card draw can be good. I don't think we need a third Waste. Just seems unnecessary. We might actually be a Bonesaw deck. I don't know. Could take the Meandering River for a weird white splash. Hedron alignment does scry 1. I'm going to take the Bone Saw. It just seems like something that actually works for this deck, surprisingly. Double Bone Saw? Sure. If we play multiple Bone Saws, our curve can be basically non-existent. Got the Unnatural Endurance. This is kind of a sweet deck. I'm going to take it over the Chain Mage. Got the Shrieker back. Alright, I mean, this deck is coming together real nice. Alright, I guess we'll take the Natural State. It actually blows up our Stoneforge Masterwork. So, aggressive blue-black Devoid. And currently we're definitely a 17 land deck. We're borderline 16 lands with double Bone Saw. I don't think we're going to end up playing Bone Saws, but there's a chance. Like I said, they work. They actually are kind of good in this deck. They're good on Mind Melters. They're good when you've already played a Sky Scourer. Alright, we don't want the Defiant Bloodlord, so what do we want? Rush of Ice is a really good tempo card. This guy's an Eldrazi, though, and he fits our curve, too. I think we take the Skimmer. It just fits in too much with our decks thematically. Since it's an Eldrazi for Stoneforge Masterwork, it's a colorless spell for Sky Scourer. It evades. Hopefully wheel the Rush of Ice. Like I said, no one really likes blue, so that could pan out. Well, there could have been a white splash with Noyandar, but that's not what our deck's trying to do. Cutthroat's pretty good. It's our one non-Eldrazi, but the sick thing about Cutthroat is that it's just an amazing card in general. Like, when your guys die, they lose life. It's just really good. Otherwise, there's Incubator Drone and Culling Drone. Culling Drone is certainly weaker than Cutthroat, but it is an Eldrazi. It's also, I probably still want the Cutthroat. It's the one card that's not thematically an Eldrazi for Masterwork, but it's just so good. It really is just that good. It's the one non-Eldrazi card I'm willing to play. And then I hope we wheel Drone, or either Drone wheeling would be great. What the? Yeah. Taking Drowner of Hope, of course. Over Sky Spawner, which also would be sick for us, by the way. I'm ready to cut some Bone Saws. Isn't Drowner of Hope worth something? Surprisingly, it's worth 11 cents, but it also is like one of the best cards that you can get in the format, so seems like an easy pickup for us. Complete Disregard, we're going to take over the Pilgrim's Eye, because Complete Disregard is really good. And our removal kind of sucks right now. Alright, I think we're off the Bone Saw plan. Even though I like it, it's cute. We're going to play Disregard. I don't think we have to be 18 lands, though. Our curve looks, well, our curve is pretty small. Plus we have Cultivator Drone. And Translator. Although getting to Translator can be not so easy. What else would we cut? What's like the next cut? I'm kind of cool with double Unnatural Endurance, but maybe I can cut the curve by... Yeah, actually I can cut a Pathfinder. Pathfinder's fine, but I'd rather run cheaper cards. Yeah, wow. Wowzers. And there's Nullifier too? Jeez. I mean, this has everything we want. Do we have no way to exile, though, right? I almost still want Nullifier because it flies. We do have no way to exile, though. Wait, that's not true. Mind Melter, Complete Disregard. Mind Melter is kind of a stretch to turn on Nullifier. I'm just trying to think if I'd prefer the evasion, the flash evasion, or the Skitterskin, which I feel like wheels anyway. No one likes this card. Channeler's good too, but I think we're actually taking the Nullifier over the Drone. Drone has better synergy with Drowner of Hope, but I'd rather just have a Flash Flyer. Alright, we're cutting the... What did I say we were cutting? Probably one... No, I kind of want to cut the Pathfinder, I think, still. Even though Pathfinder's an Eldrazi, it's not that crazy. It's okay. Retreat to Hagra actually looks okay in this deck. It either drains or it gives a guy Death Touch, but I probably want Channeler over it. Colorless mana for things. It's also an Eldrazi. Oracle of Dust would be okay too, but I think Channeler's just better. Sludge Crawler and Infiltrator and Mercstrider and Transgress. Well, probably want the Infiltrator. It feeds Nullifier. Sludge Crawler's pretty awesome too. It's also an Eldrazi. I think Infiltrator's better than Sludge Crawler though. We do have so many 3-drops though. Maybe we want to lower the curve of the deck. That's a tough one. I'm going to take the Sludge Crawler. I think we're going to try and be a bit more aggressive. Well, I don't want the Cloud Manta. I don't really need the Grave Birthing. Guess we can take the Oracle of Dust. I'm not going to play Scour. Probably not playing Oracle either. Got the Rush of Ice back. I think we're actually taking and playing that. Just the way this deck looks like it can curve out. Maybe not, though. We'll see. Bone Splinters. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Probably not playing it. Likely not playing it. Mindraker. More Eldrazi's. Don't really like Salvage Drone, but whatever. Take it. We're borderline mono black. But obviously playing blue for Drowner. All the Salvage Drones. Maybe we just take this, whatever. I don't care about Salvage Drone. Wow. This deck's cool. I need to figure out what I'm cutting. I think we're just going to cut the top end because I want to run 17 lands. It's basically what it boils down to. I probably like Channeler more than Oracle of Dust most of the time. What am I cutting? Probably don't need the Mindraker. I do have Complete Disregard, though. Mind Melter, Mindraker actually are kind of cool together, too. I don't know what to cut. Maybe I cut the Punishment. Although, I kind of wanted it. I kind of liked it in this deck only because we look aggressive, but I almost like Rush of Ice more. It's a rare effect, though. This does seem like a good Remorseless Punishment deck. Like, we are pretty aggressive. I just might not have space for it, to be honest. I'm not cutting, like, any of our... Like, I could cut a Cultivator Drone just to cut back on our blue, but I don't like that too much either. This isn't exactly a Cultivator Drone deck, but... What do I do to, like, lower the curve of this deck? Because if I could just play 1 through 4 drops, I would, you know? So, do I just cut all my 5 drops? I mean, I don't love that. I do kind of want the Rush of Ice, though. Although, Rush of Ice alongside Shrieker's not great. I mean, it's okay, but you have to have... You're paying 5, and then you still need a 6th mana if you want to give this Menace on top of tapping something. I'm not cutting the Cutthroat. Not with 19 creatures in our deck. I don't care if it's not an Eldrazi at that point. There's just board states that lets you just win. Do I cut Translator or Channeler? So Translator works better with like Shriekers and Mind Melters. But I guess Channeler works really well with that too. I have no idea what to cut from this deck. I guess I am cutting the Rush of Ice. Could cut the Tar Snare, but then we're just going to be so light on removal. I want both on natural endurances, though. They seem too good in this deck. Maybe the Sweep Away? And then let's cut. Could actually cut the channeler and the translator just to really lower the curve of the deck. That makes the cultivator drone worse. I'm kind of pretty close to cutting the cultivator drone, actually. It ramps us into our 4, 5, 6 drops, but if I cut cultivator drone, I can cut like a... I can't decide if I like channeler or translator more. I kind of like translator more, right? Because you can attack and use the ability, whereas with channeler, you can only use the ability. I think we're cutting a channeler and we're going to cut the drone, I think. And that way our curve is still pretty low. We still have plenty of creatures. We have some removal. This deck's really cool. I haven't seen a deck like this like ever. So yeah, we're borderline mono black, but still obviously running. I think we can afford to run these. Yeah, we want all the colorless lands for sure for triple Shrieker, triple Mind Melter. All right, let's figure out how many. No, I don't want that few. So this is like, if you count, this is like 7 blue and 8 black. I could go to 6 blue and like 9 black. That's probably better. We just have so few blue spells. And this should be enough. The problem is Holdout Settlement doesn't really count. It only counts as like a half. But I think we want, like I said, I think we want all our colorless mana. I mean, we even have the Slaughter Drone. Yeah, we're going to run all our colorless mana. All right. So we're running it like this. This deck's really cool. We only have 9 seconds, so I got to submit. But I don't even know how high to rate that deck. I'm assuming I'm rating it pretty high. Like, in terms of curve, in terms of synergy, it's got to be like top notch. In terms of bomby spells, we've got the Drowner of Hope. Yeah, this deck's like a B. I think this deck's definitely a B. It has synergy, it has curve, it has bomby effects, it has evasiveness. The mana base is maybe the weakest part, which gives it a B. But yeah, this deck's cool. All right, we're in round 1.